Hey everybody, what's going on? I am Richie Moon, new to True Heel Heat, and before we get to my first Raw review, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to True Heel Heat so you can get the latest and greatest wrestling news and you can see this new beautiful baby face here. Let's get started. So Raw started off with the Raw Men's Survivor Series team standing in a ring flanked by Adam Pearce. And before we get started, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Let's clear the air right now. Adam Pearce is the Raw and SmackDown general manager. I mean, everybody comes to him for decisions. He makes matches. He makes championship matches. That's pretty much what the general manager does, regardless of the title they give or don't give him. So I just wanted to clear that up. And number two, he said Drew McIntyre. Yes, he said it. Twitter made a big deal out of it. The internet went crazy because somebody in WWE floated up a line. There you go. But everybody was in the ring and everybody was making their arguments for why they should be the #1 contender for Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship. And all of them kind of had valid arguments. But for some reason, Braun Strowman, who's usually on 10, just went to a 20 and said, "Listen, Adam Pearce, you better give me my title shot or you're going to get these hands. But I'm really not going to give you these hands. I'm going to give you a headbutt." I mean, Braun is always angry, but he was just extra angry here. He headbutted Adam Pearce before a decision could be made. And then if things couldn't even get weirder throughout the night, we had to tease that Lana is going to get a championship opportunity because she was a sole survivor. But if you've seen Survivor Series last night and you've seen how she was the sole survivor, what? I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but Anyway, we cut back to Adam Pearce, who finally was able to make a decision without being interrupted, and I really like this. He made a series of 3 matches, and whoever won these 3 matches will go on for a triple threat match, and whoever won that triple threat match will go on to face Drew McIntyre at TLC or whenever Drew decides to show up and fart on somebody. See? That wasn't funny. He called him Drew McIntyre. I threw a little fart joke in there. It's not funny. But even though Riddle did win, this does leave me scratching my chin a bit because we've been teasing for a while. We know that the friendship, they built the friendship between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. So I like the fact that that plate is still spinning, and we'll see how all these things end up turning about. But yeah, congratulations to Riddle because, man, that was a hard-hitting affair. After the match, we then cut backstage, and I was just a bit confused. I think WWE might be confused about how they're trying to do things. Now, they're booking Lana as this very sympathetic babyface. She was a sole survivor. She got put through tables for a month and a half. And then we have Asuka, one of the best wrestlers on the roster, man or woman, and she really hasn't been doing much. So she goes up to Lana. She congratulates her for being the sole survivor and says, "Hey, you know what? Maybe you deserve a championship opportunity." And Lana just sitting there like, yeah. And then Asuka just says, "Well, I'm going to give you a championship opportunity." So Asuka is supposed to be the babyface, but that is totally a heel move because Asuka knows that she can kick Asuka's ass 3 ways from Sunday. But the match happened. We got an impromptu women's championship match, and of course, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax came down there for commentary. And I love the fact that they're on commentary, and Tom Phillips or Byron Saxton asks Nia Jax a question, and she says, "I'm not in the mood." The hell are you on commentary for, then? I'll tell you this, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit scared. The way that things were setting up and the way they were booking Lana, I thought they were gonna pull some surprise, roll-up, distraction finish, and then somehow Lana is going to beat Asuka to become the new Raw Women's Champion. That did not happen. Thank you, wrestling gods. But, like I said, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax were outside on commentary. So, while Asuka was outside and Shayna Baszler and Nia started talking some crap, she grabbed the bottle of water, poured it all over them. So, of course, they interfered. And then 2 seconds later, holla, holla, player, we had ourselves a women's tag team match. And this is, come on, you know how it goes. Lana gets in there, she gets a little bit of offense, she gets the crap kicked out of her. She goes for a hot tag. Asuka runs wild, but this ended up with, of course, the most devastating move in all professional wrestling, a roll-up on Shayna Baszler for the 1-2-3. Now, my thing that I don't like about this is just that the way that Asuka beat Shayna Baszler, she had to roll her up from behind. You're giving off the impression that Asuka couldn't beat Shayna Baszler one-on-one, or she had to sneak the victory on. Now, I get the story they're telling during the tag team match, and they're still trying to get Lana over. I get it, but We then cut backstage, and Matt Riddle, high off his victory, see what I did there, sees MVP and says, yo, bro, I got like a bunch of business and ideas. What about pizza and yogurt and protein? And then we can call it like brogurt. It was absolutely ridiculous. The verbiage was just typical WWE crap, but there was this one line, and it genuinely made me laugh. MVP, who was one of the best talkers in the game, said, first off, I'm not your bro. And Matt Riddle just goes, oh man. It was just hilarious. Very small, but it was a genuine, funny moment. But MVP did tell him, hey man, listen, come back in a couple of weeks with your best ideas. And if you like it, we'll do business. And if we don't like it, we're gonna do business. Well, Matt Riddle was trying to trying to wish Bobby Lashley good luck because he has a match with Keith Lee. And oh man, listen, wrestlers go all over the world. They wrestle in all other federations. But for my money, please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure this is the first time we have ever gotten Keith Lee versus Bobby Lashley. I'm here for it. And we did have the aforementioned Keith Lee versus Bobby Lashley. And I mean, this is exactly what it looks like on paper. Just man meat, just I wish that Bobby Lashley could have struggled a bit more with picking Keith Lee up, and honestly, I really want to see these two clash again with a clean victory. But I don't mind the DQ finish. I think there was a bit too many tonight, but there was a reason. It seems that WWE is really protecting Bobby Lashley. He's been on a winning streak. He's United States champion. He mopped the floor with Sami Zayn at Survivor Series. And even though he's not going to be in the Ultimate Championship match for the opportunity to face Drew McIntyre, WWE has really been protecting Bobby Lashley, so I'm going to keep my eye on that and see how things play out. I really wish Keith Lee could have got the clean victory, but for all those reasons that I just mentioned, I completely understand. MVP interferes as Bobby Lashley is as Keith Lee breaks out of the Hurt Lock, and it looks like he's about to set him up for a Spirit Bomb. MVP comes in there, he gets cold clocked with the discus elbow, and of course that causes a DQ. So next week it is going to be, I'm jumping the gun a little bit more, I'm about to give you the result for the main event before we even get there. Next up, it was the Firefly Funhouse, and the theme of the Firefly Funhouse this week was friendship. And according to Bray Wyatt and Little Miss Bliss, friendship ain't really that good. But our friend, Friendship the Frog, has something to say about that. And with that being said, I just want to say rest in peace to Friendship the Frog. There was an interview with Nikki Cross backstage, and Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss have been going through this month-long storyline since Alexa Bliss got taken over by The Fiend, and I really like this. You know, I'm always a fan of less is more, but I would not have been upset if this would have been on Survivor Series last night. You know why? Because this match actually has stakes, it has storyline, it has purpose, it has an outcome to it. Now, Nikki Cross has been desperately trying to break through Alexa Bliss, but the Fiend's grasp on her is anaconda-like. So they had the match, and this was awesome because this is the first time that we're seeing Alexa Bliss wrestle as, I'm going to name it, you heard it here first, as The Fiend. And here's my advice, WWE, here's a little thing. Go all in. Give Alexa Bliss, turn her into Sister Abigail. Give her a different look. You've already started with the music. Really go all the way in here. Just like we got Bray Wyatt and we got The Fiend, and they're two different entities, but they're one and the same. Do the same thing with Alexa Bliss. I mean, all the potential was there. These two are knocking out the park. What I really enjoyed about this match was the story. It was more story than a wrestling match, but Alexa Bliss was basically just playing around with Nikki Cross. She's running around, she's skipping, she's playing hot hands. Take that, take that, take that, take that. And then in the middle of the match, Alexa Bliss kind of has this breakdown. It seems like the Fiend's spell has come off of her. She starts crying. She starts looking at herself like, oh my God, where am I at? What am I wearing? And as soon as Nikki Cross goes into a hug her and embrace her, I think she got her best friend back. Boom, Sister Abigail. Mwah, perfect. She ends it off with a little smile. 1, 2, 3, Little Miss Bliss. Man, great character work. WWE, just take it a step further. You're already halfway there. Just go all in. And next up, they showed the same exact video package they did for Undertaker's farewell. Listen, man, Undertaker always have a place on my heart. I love the Undertaker. I was sad, but You know, come on, guys. You guys are great at video packages. You guys do video packages better than anybody. And I'll put that up. I will put WWE's video packages up against any sport in the world. And they just knock out the park. So WWE, just make another one. Come on. But anyway, we got the main event of AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. And the commentary kept putting it over. Oh, this is WrestleMania worthy. Oh, this is WrestleMania worthy. Yeah, because at WrestleMania 35, we got Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. So that's why it's WrestleMania worthy, because it actually happened at WrestleMania. And this match was good. It was so good that you don't even realize that both guys are heel. Had good back and forth. These two always have good chemistry. And all of a sudden, the lights just start to shut down. And then we see the Fiend over here. We see the Fiend over there. We see the Fiend everywhere. No, not really. But the one time that the Fiend really did pop up, he caused such a distraction that AJ Styles was able to go to the turnbuckle, boom, hit that phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3. See, everybody else forgets, but not the Fiend. So I really like where they're going with this. We got Randy Orton versus the Fiend. Who knows where that storyline is going to go, because the Fiend doesn't forget. And next week in a triple threat match, we got AJ Styles versus Keith Lee versus Riddle. I mean, oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. Give me more. Thank you. Please, I'll take one more of that. Yes, thank you. I like you. But yeah, man, listen. I have a very, very simple rating. And it all comes down to one question. When you watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or any wrestling show, for any show for that sake, the number one question should be, the show that I've seen, am I intrigued, and do I want to come back next week? And for all my money's worth, I gotta say, I am very intrigued to watch Raw next week and see the fallout from all these different storylines that they got going. And I really appreciate the fact that Drew McIntyre was not on the show. He is the champion. Less is more. We don't need to see the champion every week, especially when most of the storylines are based around people chasing after him. So that was my first Raw review. What did you guys think? Leave a comment. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I am Richie Moon. This has been True Heel Heat. This is my first Raw review, and I will be back next week for Raw next week. Peace, love, and light. I'll see you later.